The disaster in Southern California has, of course, impacted tens of thousands of people, including a Kern County resident and the great-granddaughter of Hollywood legend Will Rogers. The Pacific Palisades fire destroyed Will Rogers State Park in a matter of hours. 17's Kevin Charette, who visited this majestic park back in 2022 for Sunrise Adventures, reflects tonight on the loss of this shining gem in the hills above L.A.
My heart dropped when I heard about the loss of the Will Rogers State Park. Instantly, I reflected on my visit back in 2022. The scent of eucalyptus and the distant rhythm of horses galloping filling the air. Now silent and possibly gone forever. This is what Will Rogers State Park looked like when I visited back in 2022. It was my first time visiting, and I fell in love with the historic site as soon as I pulled up. But who would know, in a matter of years, it would be threatened due to a raging inferno.
It seems like about every 4 or 5 years we get a fire that comes very, very, very close to the door, and we've been lucky all these years to escape it.
Will Rogers, a Cherokee cowboy turned Hollywood star, purchased the property in the 1920s, building a 31-room ranch house complete with a polo field, riding trails, and stables for his beloved horses.
That was his escape from Beverly Hills when he wasn't making a movie. And he actually built the barn before he started adding on to the house. And the barn was built before he ever lived there.
After Rogers' tragic death in a plane crash in 1935, wife Betty continued to live on the ranch until she entrusted it to the public in 1944, where it has been a living museum for all to enjoy. But that all changed January 7th when the forces of wind and fire marched toward this historic property.
Okay, Jen, it's in the park, without a doubt. I just saw flames coming up over the curve. Right here takes you down by the house. It's in the park.
It wasn't long after this video was taken that the fire moved over the hills, burning almost everything in its path. The once majestic Rogers home, now a pile of ash. Only chimneys remain. The magnificent stables that were more than 90 years old, no more.
We were able to get a lot of the collection out of the house before it burnt. That stuff is secure in Los Angeles.
For decades, the park thrived as a sanctuary for both wildlife and history buffs. School kids toured the ranch house, learning about Rogers' life and the history of California. It was a place for hikers and horseback riders to explore the trails, which brought breathtaking views of the Pacific Ocean. It was also home to the only polo club in the greater Los Angeles area. A park once so vibrant with activity, now silent and scarred. While the loss of this historic park will hurt for years to come, Will Rogers, in his own words, said this once: "Don't let yesterday use up too much of today." We can only hope that a piece of Rogers and his legacy will return to these grounds once the dust settles. In studio, I'm Kevin Charette, 17 News.